The forest is calm but cold, and every sound travels through the frozen air. A lone figure walks carefully through the thick snow, leaving slow footprints behind him. The wind moves gently through the branches while the forest watches. He stops near a massive tree standing alone among many others. From the outside, it looks completely normal, just another tree lost in the forest. This tree will become something no one would ever expect. The man studies the tree carefully, touching the rough bark and circling around it slowly. Snow continues to fall around him while the forest remains. He knows that in a place like this, survival depends on preparation, patience, and smart decision. A hidden shelter could mean safety, warmth, and protection from the unforgiving winter. The tree is thick, old, and strong. Its trunk is wide enough to hide something inside, the perfect place for a secret shelter. He clears the snow around the base of the tree, revealing the strong roots gripping the frozen ground beneath. The cold air bites at his hands as he begins preparing. Every movement is careful and quiet. He gathers tools and begins the slow process of carving a hidden opening into the tree. Wood chips fall softly into the snow as the work begins. At first, it looks impossible. A solid tree standing strong for decades does not easily reveal its secret, but slowly, piece by piece, the inside begins to open. Hours pass as the forest slowly darkens. The snow continues falling while the hollow inside the tree grows deeper and wider. The opening is small and hidden so that no one walking through the forest would ever notice. Camouflage is important. The shelter must remain invisible. Branches, bark, and natural textures are carefully preserved, so the outside of the tree still looks untouched. Inside the tree, the space begins to take shape. What was once solid wood slowly becomes a hidden room carved into nature itself. The air inside smells of fresh wood and cold winter wind. The man pauses for a moment, stepping back to look at the progress. The forest around him remains quiet, as if protecting the secret being built inside the tree. The opening is now large enough to enter. He crawls carefully inside the hollow trunk for the first time. The interior is dark, but the space is real. A hidden room inside a living tree. But the work has only just begun. Survival shelters require more than space. They require warmth, protection, comfort, and most importantly, fire. Inside the hollow trunk, he begins smoothing the inner walls, removing rough wood and shaping the space carefully. The floor is cleared and leveled so it can support tools, supplies, and a safe place to rest. Outside, the wind grows stronger, sending snow swirling between the trees. But inside the hollow trunk, the cold wind cannot reach. Slowly, the tree begins to transform into something more than just wood. It becomes a hidden refuge, a place where winter cannot easily reach. Fire inside a tree might sound dangerous, but with the right preparation, it can become the heart of a hidden shelter. The man carefully arranges the stones into a circular fire pit, making sure every gap is sealed so heat stays contained. Stone protects the wood from direct flames, turning the hollow trunk into a safe chamber for warmth. Outside, the wind moves through the forest like a quiet warning. Winter in the wilderness shows no mercy to those who are unprepared. Inside the tree, the small stone pit begins to look like the center of the shelter. The man gathers dry sticks and thin branches from under fallen logs nearby. In winter forests, dry wood is precious. Snow hides most of it, but patience reveals what the forest keeps hidden. Piece by piece, he builds a small stack of kindling inside the fire pit. The air inside the tree feels colder now that the sun is fading behind the mountains. Night is coming. The first night inside a new shelter is always the hardest. Without fire, the cold will quickly take control. He kneels near the fire pit and prepares a spark. A small tool strikes metal against stone. Then a bright spark jumps into the dry fibers. Smoke curls slowly upward as the tiny flame begins to grow. Orange light flickers against the wooden walls of the tree, transforming the dark hollow into a warm, glowing chamber. Outside, snow continues falling silently, but inside the tree, a pocket of warmth now exists. The man sits quietly beside the fire, letting the heat slowly push away the cold that followed him from the forest. But survival is more than just warmth. A proper shelter needs a place to rest. Using strong branches, he begins building a raised platform along the inner wall of the tree. Sleeping directly on the cold ground drains body heat quickly, so elevation is important. Branch after branch is placed carefully, forming the frame of a small wooden bed. Moss gathered from beneath rocks becomes natural insulation. Soft layers are placed across the platform, creating a natural mattress that traps warmth. The smell of moss mixes with the scent of burning wood, Slowly, the inside of the tree becomes something unexpected. A small hidden home. Tools are placed neatly along the wall. A small wooden shelf is carved directly into the trunk to store supplies. Everything has its place because space inside the tree is limited. Outside, the forest becomes darker as night fully arrives. The wind grows stronger, pushing snow across the ground in long white waves. But the hidden shelter stands quietly among the trees, almost invisible to the outside world. Anyone walking past would never know a warm fire burns inside that silent trunk. The entrance remains carefully hidden. Camouflaged bark covers the door so perfectly that even from a few steps away, it looks like part of the natural tree. This is the key to invisible survival. This build will be broken into short episodes starting tomorrow.